Ryan here with Zen Strength. I'm excited to share with you some of the benefits you can get from fasting and intermittent fasting, especially around weight loss. So we're going to dive into three different things. Why do intermittent fasting? How does it help you? The benefits. Weight loss is one of them, for sure. Number two, some of the fasting and intermittent fasting mistakes that I see and some of the secrets behind that. So a lot of the people, even in the mainstream, are telling you to do fasting in a way it's actually not helping you out. So we'll talk about that. And number three, how do you make fasting and intermittent fasting work for you and your goals? So how do you use it to effectively lose weight? So you can see here on my screen that I shared a blog post a while back with the 21 surprising benefits of fasting. So this will answer the question, why fasting, right? So there are a ton of different benefits, but before we dive in, what is your problem? So a lot of people have different health challenges in their lives. Some people are overweight or obese. They have declining brain function, leading to dementia and Alzheimer's, and an overall lack of time and focus to get the things done in their business and in their life. So what are the big three benefits of fasting? So number one, you burn fat. Two, you detox your body. And three, you boost productivity. So before we dive into what that means in specifics, what is fasting? So fasting doesn't mean you have to go for days on end without food. Simply put, it means you're not consuming calories. And there are a lot of different ways to slice and dice this, different variations when it comes to fasting. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So one thing to keep in mind, important point, is that you are already fasting every night while you're sleeping, right? So keep that in mind. So what is intermittent fasting? So this generally means that you're restricting your eating window during the day while extending the amount of time you go without food, right? So going back to you're fasting when you're sleeping, so hopefully that's about 8 hours or so while you're sleeping. So you can extend that on either side, and that gives you a smaller eating window, right? And there are many different variations of IF, 16-8, 1 meal a day, OMAD, 24 hours, 5-2, alternate day fasting. There's also a fasting mimicking diet that restricts calories for 5 days while offering many of the same benefits you get when fasting. So let that sink in, that you can actually eat food and get the benefits from fasting. So we'll talk about that. And that's actually something that comes up in our masterclass, in our 5-day formula. Some of the courses that I offer is that how do you make fasting easier and more effective? And this is what we call fasting biohacks. So I get into that in my courses, and I'll tell you a little bit about that later on. So benefit number one, fasting burns fat. I think this is obvious. You go without food for long enough, and eventually you're going to tap into your fat stores and use that for energy. Where people go wrong is that their body dives in and digs into their body mass, lean body mass, and pulls out their muscles. And this is not what you want to happen. This is what happens with calorie restriction, with crash dieting, and when people do fasting in a harmful way. So you definitely want to do fasting in a way that works for you, that preserves the muscle mass, and gives you the fat burning benefits that you want. And number two, yes, you can spare and build muscle while fasting. So a lot of people in the bodybuilding community, so these so-called meatheads, are using fasting actually as a tool to boost growth hormone and get it more muscle growth, right? So when you give your body a chance to rest and digest, it actually produces the hormones that you need to build more muscle, right? So, and I have a bunch of references and sources behind that. So in this article, if you're interested, I can share a link to this article and you can read all the references in here. And you recover and heal faster from workouts and injuries. So case in point, a few years ago, I went and did a 1 month fitness boot camp, and I was lifting weights 6 times a week, and I decided I would do intermittent fasting. So generally 16-8 during the week with one 24-hour fast every week as well, throw it in. And the guy who was teaching this thought I was crazy, but I actually didn't get sore. It was amazing. Like, I recovered so much faster from my workouts by doing the intermittent fasting. So benefits 5 through 7, you have healthier skin, joints, and bones. So I find when I do fasting for 24 hours or more, my skin clears up and I look and feel healthier. So benefits 8 through 13, you reduce your risk for cancer, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and stroke. So these so-called lifestyle diseases that are really attributed to the way we live our lives, the environment around us, and specifically the foods we eat. So when we take a break from those foods, we actually have a chance to rest, to digest, and to ward off and fight off all of these chronic illnesses. And there are a ton of references to this. Benefit number 14, you clean up your gut. So fasting helps you heal your gut. So there's what we call the gut microbiome, and we've studied this now where we see the gut microbiome in healthy individuals is different from people who are sick or overweight. And so how do you get the gut microbiome for a healthy individual? One way to do that is through fasting. So when you starve your body of food, you're actually starving your bacteria in your gut from food as well, which can actually give you more of the so-called good and beneficial bacteria in your gut. Benefit number 15, you live longer. So yes, there's some evidence that you can actually live longer by fasting, right? And so the studies behind this is all in some kind of lab animal. They haven't actually depraved humans of food for long periods of time to study them. But in every one of these studies, they see that when calories are restricted, the animals actually live longer, right? So you boost your productivity when fasting. And how do you do that? With the next benefits, you have more time, you have more focus, and you have more energy. So basically, and it even makes you happy. So all these things, eating less actually frees everything up and gives us the energy, the alertness that we need to be more productive, get more done, and even have more money, right? More time and money. So when you think about it, when you're spending less time and money buying food, preparing food, cooking food, you have more time and money for other things in your life, right? Perhaps other things that are more important. So that was number one, the why. Number two, so what are the tips and the tricks? So I went to this website. I actually got an email from this website, well.org, and they're actually giving their 7 tips and secrets to intermittent fasting. And number 3, I was surprised to see in here, they say stick to the routine as much as possible. So this is the secret, is that you should not stick to a routine as much as possible. So this is where people actually go wrong. And we talked about people doing fasting in an unproductive way where they actually lose lean body mass. And this is what they're actually promoting here, is to say to do the exact same thing. So if you're restricting calories day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, then you're actually setting yourself up to lower your metabolism and even possibly wreck your hormones in the process. And so what does this mean? Is that you're going to tap in, you're actually going to burn muscle mass, lean body mass, and you're going to lower your metabolism over time, which is not what you want. So the flip side of that is the secret, is that you need to mix things up a little bit. So you can think of this on a weekly schedule where if your goal is weight loss, which I think it is, then at least one day a week, you want a calorie surplus, right? This doesn't mean you have a cheat day and you go crazy with eating anything and everything. No, you just add an extra meal, nutritious meal, something like that, or eat a little more of healthy food, right? So that's one of the fasting tips and tricks. And the second one is what I just talked about, is nutritious food. So a lot of people try to do too much too soon with the fasting, and then they get really hungry, ravenously hungry, and when they break their fast, they eat all of this food that's unhealthy, right, which is not doing you any favors. So sticking to nutritious food is the second secret. So now, how do you make IF, or intermittent fasting, work for you? So this is the question, and this is what I want to talk about. I mentioned before is that number one, start small, right? So I talked about how people get into this and they try to do too much too soon, and they actually set themselves up for failure, right? So start tracking your baseline. Where are you at now? How big is your eating window, right? Is it 16 hours? If so, try to knock it down 1 hour and see what happens. And then do that for a week or so and keep progressing until you find what works for you, and progress slowly. That's number 2. So start small. Number 2, progress slowly. Number 3, I already talked about, focus on nutrition. And these are things we talk about. If you have any doubt, which is highly likely with all the misinformation we have about nutrition and food, then you want to join one of my classes, my 5-day formula, or this one, the 28-day masterclass, where you learn all about how to make fasting work for you. So yeah, nutrition, and this is the last one. So join one of our courses. And the one you see here, we're starting actually on July 6th, and you can lose weight in 28 days and for the rest of your life. I'm not going to get into the details in here, but you can go to zenstrength.fitness/fasting-program, and you can join our FAST Weight Loss Masterclass now, where you learn all these things. You get over overeating, being stuck, not enough activity and exercise, low sex drive, you're too busy with work, you don't have the discipline, you've tried so many times, don't feel well, perhaps embarrassed, you can't stand what you see in the mirror. So you can take this and turn it around and do yourself a favor and get in control of your food. Become valued and respected, happy and healthy, spending time with your loved ones, strong and energized, proud, confident, and secure. So you'll learn to burn fat and build strength, control your appetite and eating, detox and cleanse your body, clean up your gut, live longer, make you happier, heal faster, have healthier skin, joints, and bones, reduce your risk for cancer, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and stroke, and boost your productivity. So I created this course for people like you who want to use fasting as a powerful tool to finally achieve their weight loss goals and greatly improve their lives. So past students lost weight quickly and easily while learning and experiencing the many benefits of fasting. So if you're interested, check this out. What will you get? So you get a full-length fasting documentary, not one, but 2 documentaries. You get 10 steps to a healthy diet, a bulletproof diet roadmap, mindful eating meditation, quick hit workouts. So what will you do? You actually practice intermittent fasting for 28 days with a group of peers on an exclusive private online social platform while you track and share your wins, struggles, what and when you eat, stay accountable with one-on-one coaching and support. You actually earn points and compete for prizes as you complete the daily lessons and assignments for a fun and friendly competition, and participate in weekly live video calls to share and learn from your coach, that's me, and the group. So what do you learn? You get the fasting benefits for weight loss and more. You learn what is fasting, fasting tips and FAQs, exercise and fasting to burn fat fast, your fasting and weight loss mindset. So we go deeply into the psychology of food and fasting, and then the biology, how fasting affects your body. And then fasting to burn fat for ketosis, fasting to detox with autophagy, and then biohacking your fast using the secrets that I talked about to make fasting both easier and more effective. And then finally, extended fasting for life and fasting for the rest of your life and making it work for you for the rest of your life. So you can come here, you can read the testimonials. So what is the value you get from the FAST Weight Loss Masterclass? So I talked about the time and money savings. So with the time you save, you can actually earn, and this is just basic, very small conservative calculations like minimum wage. You can earn over $5,000, right, with the money, with the time you save, right? And then the money savings with the food is over $2,000. Again, this is conservative, assuming you're eating like fast food at McDonald's or something like that. And then you get access to me for 28 days for $833. You get the full-length fasting documentaries worth $20. And so all of this adds up to $8,000 of value. And not to mention how much better you'll feel with your newfound control over food and your life thanks to your investment in the course and all of the in-depth support and guidance you get during the Fasting for Weight Loss course. So with that, I encourage you to come here, click, join the FAST Weight Loss Masterclass now, and I'll see you on July 6th.